She said. "I'm tired of pretending I like your family. Don't invite me to Christmas," I replied. "Completely understand." Then I brought my new girlfriend instead. When my sister posted the family photos, her missed calls started coming in. I, 32 male, got the message that ended my 3-year relationship on November 18th. Not in person, not even a phone call. A voice message while I was at work. "Daniel, I need to be honest with you. I'm tired of pretending I like your family. Your mom's passive-aggressive, your dad tells the same boring stories, and your sister acts like she's better than everyone. I don't want to do Christmas with them this year. Actually, I don't want to do any holidays with them anymore. If you want to keep dating, fine, but don't invite me to family stuff." That was Melissa, 29, my girlfriend who I'd been planning to propose to on New Year's Eve. The ring was already in my sock drawer. I listened to that message 3 times in my car during lunch. Each time it hit different. First time, shock. Second time, anger. Third time, clarity. See, my family had done nothing but welcome her. Mom always made her favorite dessert. Dad included her in our fantasy football league. She came in second last year. My sister Jenna treated her like the sister she never had. They went shopping together, got their nails done, the whole thing. But apparently that wasn't enough for Melissa. I texted back, "Completely understand, no problem." She replied instantly, "Really? You're not mad?" Me, "Nope, your choice." Her, "Okay, good. See you tonight? Thai food?" Sure. That night she acted like nothing happened. Chatted about her coworker drama, showed me TikToks, normal girlfriend stuff. Never mentioned the family ultimatum. I played along, but inside, I was done. The next day I made some decisions. 1. Returned the engagement ring. Got most of my money back since it was within their return window. 2. Called my buddy Trevor, who runs a dating app consultation business. Yeah, that's a thing. Told him I needed a profile refresh ASAP. 3. Started apartment hunting. We didn't live together, but I wanted a fresh start. The breakup conversation happened 2 weeks later, right after Thanksgiving, which she skipped, obviously. Told her it wasn't working out. "Wait, what? Is this about the family thing? I thought you understood." "I do understand. You don't like my family. That's a fundamental incompatibility. But we can work through it. Couples don't have to share everything. My family's important to me. You basically called them unbearable. We're done," she cried. Said I was overreacting. That I was choosing them over her. I reminded her that she's the one who issued the ultimatum. Then I left. Here's where it gets interesting. 3 weeks after the breakup, I matched with Amy, 28F, on Bumble. Veterinarian, loves hiking, has a golden retriever named Waffles. We hit it off immediately. Coffee date turned into dinner. Dinner turned into a weekend hike. By mid-December, we were seeing each other regularly. December 20th, Amy mentioned she had no Christmas plans since her family lives overseas. "Want to come to mine?" I asked. Fair warning, it's pretty chaotic. My mom goes overboard with everything. Her face lit up. "Really? You sure it's not too soon?" "Nah, they'll love you. Plus, Mom needs someone new to show off her Christmas cookie collection too." Christmas Eve arrived. Amy showed up at my apartment with homemade brownies for my family and a bottle of wine. She was nervous but excited. Meanwhile, I hadn't heard from Melissa in 3 weeks. Complete radio silence. My family was hosting at their house about an hour away. When we walked in, Mom immediately hugged Amy. Dad shook her hand and started asking about her veterinary practice. Jenna squealed when she saw Waffles. Yes, Amy brought the dog, Mom insisted. The whole day was perfect. Amy helped Mom in the kitchen, listened to Dad's stories, and actually laughed. Played board games with Jenna and her husband. She fit in like she'd always been there. Around 8 p.m., we're all sitting around the fireplace. Amy's curled up next to me. Waffles is passed out by the tree, and Jenna's taking photos for Instagram. Whole family, including Amy, wearing the ridiculous matching Christmas sweaters Mom insists on every year. December 26th, 7 a.m. My phone starts buzzing. And buzzing, and buzzing. 23 missed calls from Melissa. 15 texts ranging from "we need to talk" to "how could you" to "call me now." I ignored them. But then Jenna texted me, Melissa's going psycho in my DMs about the Christmas photos. What should I do?" Turns out Jenna posted the family photos on Instagram that morning. Melissa saw them. Saw Amy wearing the Christmas sweater that used to be hers. Lost her mind. Update 1. So after ignoring Melissa's barrage all morning, she switched tactics. Started calling my mom. Mom called me around noon. Honey, Melissa's called the house 4 times. She's crying, saying you replaced her, that the family was supposed to be hers. Your father had to unplug the landline. Just block her, Mom. Already did. But sweetie, what happened? She seems unhinged. Gave Mom the quick version. Her response? So she rejected our family, you broke up with her, and now she's mad you moved on? The audacity of that girl. Then the text to Amy started. Yeah, Melissa did a deep dive on my Instagram, found Amy's profile, she commented on one of my photos, and started messaging her. Amy screenshot them for me. You're with Daniel? That's hilarious. Enjoy his clingy family. His mom will smother you and his dad will bore you to death. He only brought you to make me jealous. You're a rebound. We were together 3 years. You're temporary. Amy, absolute legend, replied once. Thanks for the heads up. His family is wonderful. Merry Christmas. Then blocked her. But Melissa wasn't done. Started texting mutual friends, spinning some story about how I emotionally cheated and brought my side piece to Christmas to hurt her. Most of them knew the real story, but a few bought her version. December 27th, she showed up at my apartment. I saw her on the doorbell camera, pacing outside, on her phone. She stayed for 20 minutes, then left. Later found out from my neighbor she was on the phone with someone saying, he has to come home eventually. December 28th, got a call from an unknown number. It was Melissa's mom, Diane. Daniel, what did you do to my daughter? She's inconsolable. Diane, she told me she wanted nothing to do with my family. I respected her wishes and ended things. But you brought some girl to Christmas. You rubbed it in her face. I brought my new girlfriend to meet my family. Melissa made it clear she wanted no part of family events. She got what she wanted. She didn't mean forever. She just needed boundaries. Boundaries? She called my mom passive-aggressive, my dad boring, and my sister stuck up. Those aren't boundaries, that's contempt. Diane huffed. She's talking about calling your work, says you emotionally abused her. Good luck with that. I have her voice message saved where she trashes my entire family. Pretty sure HR would find that interesting. Silence. Then, you saved it? Of course I did. She hung up. Update 2. New Year's Eve. The night I originally planned to propose to Melissa. Instead, I'm at a house party with Amy, actually having fun, instead of walking on eggshells like I used to with Melissa. Around 11 p.m., Amy goes to get us drinks. My phone buzzes. Email from Melissa. Subject line, you need to read this. It's a novel. 3,000 words easy. Some highlights. She tested me with the family ultimatum to see if I'd choose her. She expected me to fight for the relationship. Amy is clearly a downgrade. She stalked Amy's LinkedIn. I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm 32. She's willing to give my family another chance if I come to my senses. She already told her extended family we'd be engaged by now. The best part, she ends it with, I'll give you until January 3rd to respond before I move on. I forwarded it to Jenna with, LMAO, look at this. Jenna replied, the delusion. Also, she commented on my NYE post calling me a backstabbing witch, so I reported her for harassment. January 2nd, back at work. My coworker Keith pulls me aside. Yo, did you date a girl named Melissa? Unfortunately, why? She connected with me on LinkedIn. Sent me some weird message about you being a narcissist who love bombs women. Thought you should know. She messaged my coworkers on LinkedIn. I screenshot everything, sent it to HR preemptively with a note explaining the situation. They thanked me for the heads up and said they'd handle any further contact from her. January 3rd, her deadline. I didn't respond, obviously. January 4th, 6 a.m. She's at my apartment again. But this time she brought backup. Her sister Nicole and her best friend Brittany. They're taking turns ringing the doorbell and knocking. I called building security. Hey, I've got 3 women harassing me at my door. Their ex-girlfriend and her friends. Can you help? Security shows up, asks them to leave. Melissa starts crying, saying I owe her closure. Security doesn't care, tells them they're trespassing. They finally leave, but not before Melissa screams, you're going to regret this, at my door. Building manager emails me later. Per your situation, we've added those 3 women to the do not admit list. If they return, we'll contact police. That evening, my buddy Trevor, the dating profile guy, texts me. Dude, some crazy chick is leaving unhinged reviews on my business page, saying I'm a homewrecker who helps cheaters. That your ex? She went after my friend's business because he helped me with dating apps, after I was single. Update 3 mid-January. The escalation continued but got weirder. Melissa created an Instagram account, @DanielTruthExposed. Posted screenshots of our old texts, selectively edited, of course, photos of us from when we dated, and long captions about narcissistic abuse. Had maybe 12 followers, mostly her friends. The posts were unhinged. How he isolated me from friends, I never did that. Red flags I ignored. Included things like, too close with his family. Why family enmeshment is toxic, with my family Christmas photo. Amy saw it first. Her reaction? Laughed so hard she almost choked on her coffee. Babe, she posted a photo of you hugging your mom as evidence of emotional incest. This is comedy gold. We spent an evening reading the posts together, treating it like entertainment. Amy even started making bingo cards. Narcissist square, gaslighting square, trauma bonding square. We'd take a drink every time she used therapy speak incorrectly. But then she crossed a line. She posted a photo of Amy from her veterinary clinic's website with the caption, "The rebound who helps kill animals for a living seems fitting for someone dating an emotional killer." Amy's clinic started getting 1-star reviews, claiming she was heartless and abuses animals. Completely false, obviously, but damaging to her business. That's when Amy pressed charges for harassment and defamation. Her clinic's lawyer sent Melissa a cease and desist. The reviews got taken down, but the damage was done. Then the really weird stuff started. Jenna called me, "Okay, this is creepy. Melissa just joined my gym. She was on the treadmill next to me trying to make conversation about you." My dad texted, "Your ex-girlfriend just tried to friend request me on Facebook. What should I do?" Block her, obviously. My mom, Melissa's mother, called me at work to apologize but spent 20 minutes saying you're making a mistake. I had to hang up on her. She was attempting to infiltrate my family's lives. Like if she couldn't be part of the family directly, she'd force her way in sideways. January 20th. I'm at the grocery store. Turn into the cereal aisle and there's Melissa. This isn't my usual store, it's by Amy's place, 30 minutes from where Melissa lives. "Oh wow, what are the odds?" she says, fake surprised. "You're stalking me now?" "I shop here sometimes. Don't flatter yourself. This is harassment, Melissa. It needs to stop." She steps closer. "You humiliated me. You brought some random girl to Christmas less than a month after we broke up. We broke up because you rejected my family. You made your choice. I wanted you to fight for me, to choose me. I did choose. I chose not to be with someone who openly despises the people I love. They're just your family. I was going to be your wife. Thank God that didn't happen." She actually gasped, like full melodrama. Then her face went cold. "You'll regret this. When she realizes what a mama's boy you are, when your precious family shows their true colors, you'll come crawling back. I'll take my chances." Security footage helped me get a restraining order the next week. Final update. It's been 6 months since Christmas. Here's where everyone ended up. The restraining order shut down most of Melissa's direct harassment. She violated it once in February, showed up at my mom's book club, got arrested, spent a night in jail. That seemed to finally get through to her. Her Instagram hate account got banned after multiple reports. She made another one, but it only lasted a week before that got banned too. The LinkedIn messages to my coworkers backfired spectacularly. Turns out one of them knew Melissa's boss. Word got back that she was spending work hours harassing her ex's professional contacts. She got put on a performance plan. Last I heard, she'd quit before they could fire her. Her mom, Diane, reached out once more in March, asking me to drop the restraining order because it was affecting Melissa's job prospects. I politely declined. She called me heartless. I was okay with that. The mutual friends who took her side initially started reaching out with apologies around April. Apparently, Melissa's victim narrative fell apart when she started dating someone new and immediately began complaining about his family too. Pattern recognized. Now the good stuff. Amy and I are still together. She's met my extended family at Easter, survived Mom's birthday party, and even helped Dad rebuild his deck. She sends my mom funny veterinary memes. They text more than we do. Jenna and Amy became legitimate friends. They have a monthly brunch thing that I'm explicitly not invited to. I'm pretty sure they talk about me, but I'm afraid to ask. Plot twist. My mom ran into Diane at the mall in May. Diane apologized for everything. Apparently, Melissa was now dating some guy named Brad and had given his family an ultimatum about their toxic positivity after dating for 2 months. Diane finally realized the problem wasn't my family. The best part? Amy and I were looking at old photos last week, and she found one from Christmas, the one where she's wearing the matching sweater, laughing at one of Dad's stories. You know, she said, I'm really glad your ex showed you who she was before you proposed. I pulled up my phone and showed her the screenshot of Melissa's original voice message, the one where she called my family unbearable. Want to know something funny? I said. This message was the best thing that ever happened to me. Amy read it, shook her head. Her loss. Your family is amazing. Weird but amazing. Yeah, they are. Plus, she grinned, your mom already told me she's knitting me my own Christmas sweater for this year. I'm officially in. That's the thing about ultimatums. When someone makes you choose between them and the people who've loved you your whole life, they're telling you exactly who they are. Melissa thought she was testing my loyalty to her. Instead, she revealed her contempt for the people I care about. She wanted me to fight for her? Nah. I saved my energy for someone who didn't need to be convinced to like my family. Someone who saw their quirks as features, not bugs. Melissa's probably somewhere telling Brad's family why they're problematic. Meanwhile, I'm planning a camping trip with Amy, my parents, and Jenna's family for August. Amy's already bought matching hiking shirts for everyone. My mom cried happy tears when she saw them. Turns out the best revenge isn't some elaborate plan. It's just living your life with people who appreciate what you have instead of demanding you sacrifice it for them. Oh, and Melissa? If you're reading this, and knowing you probably are, Brad's mom called my mom last week. Something about getting advice on dealing with a difficult girlfriend. Small world, huh? Good luck with that. She said, I've been secretly filming us in the bedroom for memories. Don't worry, it's private. Then I found her subscriber-only account. I replied, interesting hobby. Then I contacted a lawyer, reported the platform, and filed criminal charges. When the FBI's cybercrimes unit contacted her about federal charges, I, 31 male, found out by complete accident. My girlfriend Natalie, 29, and I had been together for 2 years, living together for 8 months. Things were good, or so I thought. She worked in social media marketing, always had her phone out, always creating content. I figured that was just her job. Last Tuesday I was homesick. Natalie was at work. My laptop died mid-email, so I grabbed hers from the bedroom. She'd told me her password months ago for emergencies. No big deal. Opened Chrome, her email was logged in. A notification popped up in the corner. Payment processed, $847.32. From something called FanVault Premium. I didn't recognize it, thought maybe it was a work thing, some platform she managed for clients. Clicked the notification out of curiosity. It opened to a creator dashboard. My stomach dropped. The header image was our bedroom. Our actual bedroom, recognizable wallpaper and everything. Profile name, Naughty Nat Private. Subscriber count 183. I sat there for maybe a full minute, not moving. Then I clicked into the content library. Videos. Dozens of videos, all time-stamped over the past 6 months. All of us. In our bedroom. Intimate moments I thought were private. Some were shot from her nightstand. I could see the angle. Others from what looked like her dresser. She'd been using her phone to record us, then uploading it. The descriptions made me want to throw up. Watch me with my boyfriend who has no idea he's being filmed. And secret recording, he thinks we're alone. I closed the laptop. Walked to the bathroom, threw up, then I sat on the couch and tried to think. She'd been filming me without consent, posting it online, making money from it. That's a crime. That's a serious crime. When Natalie got home at 6 p.m., I was still on the couch, laptop closed on the coffee table. Hey babe, feeling better? Natalie, we need to talk. She set down her bag. What's wrong? I opened the laptop, turned it to face her. Want to explain this? Her face went white, then red. Then back to white. You went through my computer? You've been filming us, without telling me, and posting it online. It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. There are 183 people paying to watch videos you recorded of me without my permission. She started crying. I was going to tell you. I needed the money, okay? My student loans are killing me, and this was easy money, and I didn't think you'd find out. You didn't think I'd find out that you committed a crime? It's not a crime. It's just content creation. I actually laughed. No humor in it. It's absolutely a crime. It's called non-consensual pornography, and since you're making money from it, it's probably a bunch of other crimes too. You're overreacting. Lots of couples do this. Couples who both consent. You never asked me. Because I knew you'd say no. The logic was staggering. Get out. What? Get out of my apartment? Well, right now. Take your stuff and leave. You can't kick me out. I live here. Lease is in my name. You're not on it. Get out. She grabbed some clothes, still crying, saying I was being cruel and unreasonable, said we could work through this, that I was throwing away 2 years over nothing. I just stood there until she left. Then I called a lawyer. Update 1. 1 week later, the lawyer's name was Mr. Hoffman. Mid-50s, specialized in digital privacy cases. I showed him everything. This is serious, he said. Federal serious. She's violated multiple laws. He listed them. State revenge porn laws, wire fraud, she transmitted the content across state lines via internet, copyright infringement, I own rights to my own image, potential tax evasion if she didn't report the income he owned. We need to report this immediately. To the platform, to law enforcement, and potentially to federal authorities. First step, he sent a legal notice to FanVault demanding immediate removal of all content featuring me and disclosure of how much money she'd made. FanVault responded in 48 hours. They took down the content and provided financial records. $31,847.62 over 6 months. She'd made $31,000 filming me without consent. Second step, filed a police report. The detective, Officer Williams, was professional, but I could tell he was uncomfortable. This happens more than you'd think, he said. Usually we see it after breakups, revenge scenarios. During the relationship is less common, but just as illegal. He took my statement. Took the evidence. Said he'd pass it to the DA. Third step, Mr. Hoffman contacted the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3. Because the content was distributed online across state lines and involved financial gain, it qualified for federal investigation. While all this was happening, Natalie started her campaign. First, she sent mutual friends messages. He kicked me out over a misunderstanding. I made some content for extra money and he's acting like I committed murder. So controlling. Some friends believed her. Started sending me messages about being unreasonable. I replied to exactly one. She filmed me in intimate situations without my knowledge or consent and sold that content online to 183 subscribers. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a crime. My lawyer has advised me not to discuss this further. That friend apologized, told others. The narrative shifted. Second, her mom called me. Brandon, Natalie is devastated. She made a mistake, but you're ruining her life over this. Can't you just forgive her? Mrs. Hoffman, wait, I can't use that name, her lawyer is Hoffman. Mrs. Torres, she committed multiple crimes against me. I didn't ruin her life, she ruined it herself. She said it was just a few videos. $31,000 worth, and that's after the platform took their cut. Silence. She made that much? Yes, by violating my privacy and breaking several federal laws. But she's my daughter? You're gonna send her to jail? I'm not sending her anywhere. The legal system will decide what happens based on what she did. She hung up on me. Third, Natalie herself tried to contact me. Email, since I'd blocked her number. Brandon, please. I'm so sorry. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. I'll give you all the money. I'll delete everything. Just please drop the charges. I can't go to jail, please. I forwarded it to Mr. Hoffman without responding. Don't respond to anything, he advised. Let the legal process handle it. 2 days ago, I got a call from an FBI agent, Special Agent Rodriguez. Mr. Williams, I'm calling regarding your complaint filed with IC3. We've reviewed the evidence and we're opening a federal investigation. I'll need you to come in for a formal interview. The FBI, the actual FBI, was investigating my ex-girlfriend. The interview was yesterday. 2 agents, Rodriguez and someone named Agent Park. They asked detailed questions, timeline, what I knew, when I found out, what Natalie said. Did she ever mention doing this with previous partners? Agent Rodriguez asked. No. But I don't know. We'll be looking into that. If there's a pattern, that affects the charges. They showed me more evidence they'd pulled. Natalie had been active on 3 different platforms, not just FanVault. Total earnings closer to $50,000. Jesus, I said. She's created a business out of this. Agent Park said. That's going to be a problem for her legally. Update 2, 3 weeks later. The DA filed state charges last week. 4 counts. 1. Unlawful surveillance. 2. Distribution of private intimate images without consent. 3. Wire fraud. 4. Invasion of privacy. Natalie's bail was set at $15,000. She made it somehow. Then the federal charges dropped. The FBI's investigation found she'd been doing this for over 2 years, with 2 previous boyfriends before me. They found her. Both filed complaints after being contacted by investigators. One guy, Austin, called me through Mr. Hoffman. Dude, I had no idea she did this to anyone else. I thought it was just me. I was too embarrassed to report it at the time. The other guy didn't want contact, but his statement was part of the case file. Federal charges against Natalie. 1. Production of unauthorized intimate visual content. 2. Distribution across state lines, wire fraud. 3. Aggravated identity theft. She used our images for commercial gain without consent. Each charge carries 2 to 5 years. They stack. She's looking at potentially 15 to 20 years if convicted on everything. Her lawyer tried to negotiate, offered to plead guilty to state charges if federal charges were dropped. FBI said no. Then the entitlement really ramped up. Natalie's mom started a social media campaign, posted about how the justice system was failing young women trying to make a living, and how I was weaponizing the law to hurt someone I claimed to love. Left out the whole filming without consent part. My mom found it and called me furious. Who is this woman, and why is she lying about you online? I explained the whole situation. My mom went nuclear. Posted her own response. This young woman committed multiple felonies against my son by filming him in intimate situations without his knowledge or permission, then sold that content online for profit. That's not trying to make a living. That's a sex crime. Delete this disgusting post. Mrs. Torres deleted everything within an hour. Natalie's friends tried a different approach. One girl, Bethany, showed up at my apartment. Brandon, you need to drop this. Do you know what prison will do to her? She's not a criminal. She committed crimes against me and at least 2 other people. That makes her a criminal. It was just videos. Videos she made without consent and sold for money. How is this hard to understand? She didn't mean any harm. Intent doesn't matter. She knew what she was doing was wrong. That's why she hid it, and why her description specifically mentioned I didn't know. Bethany tried the guilt angle. She's talking about suicide. If something happens to her, that's on you. I called 911 right there. My ex-girlfriend's friend just informed me she's suicidal. Can you do a wellness check? Bethany's face went pale. I didn't mean, you can't just leave my apartment. If you contact me again, I'll file for a restraining order. She left. The preliminary hearing was last Tuesday. I had to testify. Face Natalie for the first time since I kicked her out. She looked terrible. Lost weight, dark circles, hair a mess. Part of me felt bad, a small part. Then I remembered she'd filmed me without consent over 80 times, sold those videos, made $50,000, and only stopped because she got caught. The prosecutor asked me questions. When did I find out? How did I feel? Did I ever consent? No, never. I didn't even know she was filming until I found the account by accident. Defense attorney tried to suggest I must have known because the camera angles were obvious. I trusted her. When you trust someone, you don't spend intimacy looking for hidden cameras. Judge wasn't buying the defense's arguments, bound her over for trial on all charges. As we left the courthouse, Mrs. Torres screamed at me from across the plaza. You're destroying my baby's life. She made a mistake. One mistake. Mr. Hoffman stepped between us. Mrs. Torres, if you continue harassing my client, we'll seek a restraining order and add witness intimidation to the charges against your daughter. She shut up real quick. But that night, I got an email from Natalie's lawyer. Settlement offer. She'd plead guilty to 2 state charges, serve probation, pay me $60,000, all her earnings plus damages, and register as a sex offender. In exchange, I'd write a letter to the federal prosecutor requesting leniency. I stared at it for a while, then called Mr. Hoffman. What do you think? Honestly, the federal case is strong. She's going to prison regardless, but this guarantees you financial compensation and a conviction on record. It's your call. I thought about it all night. Update 3. Final resolution. I turned down the settlement. Not out of vengeance, just principle. She committed federal crimes, multiple times, against multiple people. The pattern mattered. If I let her plead down, what message does that send? I told Mr. Hoffman that if you do this to enough people, it's fine as long as you apologize when caught. I understand. We'll proceed to trial then. The trial was 2 months later. Federal court. Austin testified too. So did the other guy, Derek, via video. The prosecution was thorough. They showed how Natalie had systematically filmed 3 different men over 2 years, how she'd created multiple accounts under different names, how she'd advertised specifically that the content was secret and non-consensual to attract subscribers who got off on that. That part made my skin crawl. The violation wasn't just about privacy. She'd marketed our non-consent as a feature. Her defense tried to argue she didn't understand the law, that she thought since she was in the videos too, she had the right to post them. The prosecutor demolished that. The defendant's own descriptions prove she knew what she was doing was wrong. She specifically told subscribers these men didn't know they were being filmed. That's consciousness of guilt. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing was 3 weeks later. Federal charges, 8 years in federal prison. State charges, running concurrent brand. She also has to pay $180,000 in restitution, split between me, Austin, and Derek. Register as a sex offender for life. Forfeit all equipment used, her phones, laptop, cameras. Have no internet access, unsupervised for 10 years post-release. The judge was harsh. Miss Torres, you committed a profound violation of trust against 3 men who cared about you. You didn't do this once in a moment of poor judgment. You built a business out of violating others' privacy. The victims here deserve to feel safe in intimate settings, and you destroyed that. Natalie sobbed through the whole thing. Her mom wailed in the gallery. I felt empty, not happy, not sad, just tired. Outside the courthouse, a reporter tried to interview me. How do you feel about the verdict? Relieved it's over. I hope this serves as a warning that this behavior has serious consequences. That made the local news. Got a few messages calling me a hero. Ignored those too. I'm not a hero. I'm just someone who refused to let a crime slide. The aftermath has been messy. Lost some friends who think I went too far by not accepting the plea deal. Whatever. People who think 8 years for systematically violating 3 people is too harsh aren't people I need around. My family was supportive. My dad said, "You did the right thing. Hard thing and the right thing are usually the same thing." Austin and I got coffee a few weeks after sentencing. Strange bonding over shared trauma. Did you ever think she'd actually go to prison? He asked. Honestly, no. I thought she'd plead out, get probation, maybe some community service. But when the feds got involved and found out about you and Derek, it became bigger than just me. Think she'll actually do the full 8? Probably out in 6 with good behavior. But the sex offender registry is forever. He nodded. Good. Derek sent me an email thanking me for pursuing charges. Said he'd been too afraid to report it when it happened to him because he thought no one would believe a man could be victimized this way. Seeing the prosecution take it seriously helped him process what happened. That made it feel worth it. The financial restitution is being paid from the seized accounts. $60,000 for me, same for Austin and Derek. Doesn't undo what happened, but it's something. I moved apartments last month. Too many memories in the old place. Every time I walked into that bedroom, I felt violated all over again. New place is smaller, but it's mine. No cameras I don't know about. Started therapy. The therapist says what I'm experiencing is normal. Trust issues, anxiety about intimacy, hypervigilance about my surroundings, all expected after this kind of violation. You may never feel completely comfortable being filmed again, even consensually, she said. That's okay. You're allowed to have boundaries. I deleted all social media except Reddit. Too easy for people to find me otherwise. My dating life is complicated now. Hard to trust. Hard to be vulnerable. The few times I've tried talking to someone new, I end up sabotaging it because I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Therapy is helping with that. Last week I got a letter from Natalie. Forwarded through the system, my address redacted. 3 pages of apologies, how she never meant to hurt me, how she's getting help in prison, how she hopes someday I can forgive her. I read it once, then shredded it. Maybe someday I'll forgive her. Not for her sake, but for mine. But that day isn't today. Today I'm just trying to move forward, to remember that most people aren't like her, that intimacy can be safe, that I deserve privacy and respect. The legal system worked. Slowly, painfully, but it worked. She's in prison. She'll carry the consequences of her actions for the rest of her life. Is that justice? I don't know, but it's accountability. And maybe that's enough. To anyone reading this who's experienced something similar, report it. I almost didn't because I was embarrassed, because I thought people wouldn't take a male victim seriously, because I thought it wasn't that bad. It is that bad. It's a crime. You deserve justice too. And to anyone thinking about doing what Natalie did, don't. The few $1,000s isn't worth spending years in federal prison and being on a registry forever. Get a real job. That's it. That's my story. Life goes on, slower and more cautiously, but it goes on. Stay safe out there.